Hi, this is Susan from Inner Wisdom Healing Arts. Thank you for joining me on this video today and on my channel. I'm sharing a quantum healing hypnosis session from about 3 years ago when I was actually working on my level 1 certification. I hadn't gotten it yet. I was just this is one of my practice sessions for my level 1 certification. So my guidance throughout may not be absolutely perfect, but I still loved the journey with this client, and I give thanks to the client for allowing me to share it. It took me a while to go back, sometimes to go back through and listen to it again myself. So what I appreciated about this session is she was shown 2 lives that were very contrasting. And in the end, when she was talking to her higher self, it really gives her clarity as to why she was shown such contrasting lives. And you'll hear that. So, and how they connect with her current life. So everything about this session connects so beautifully to what she's dealing with in her current life. She had an interest in fairies and knew she had a connection with them. So even how that unfolded was so beautiful and perfect to allow her to integrate that energy and make a connection. So I hope you enjoy it. If you have any questions, feel free to leave them in the comments and contact me to schedule your own session. I'm now doing Inner Wisdom Healing Hypnosis online or through Zoom is what I mean. I'm doing Zoom sessions that way. They aren't quantum healing hypnosis sessions, but I have I'm studying with another hypnotherapist who actually also studied and worked with Dolores Cannon. So that's how I ended up connecting with her. So I use a different technique, I want to say, but I'm incorporating a lot of what I learned in QHHT. I just don't use the QHHT script in those, but it's just some really beautiful, powerful work. But this one that I am sharing with you today is a QHHT session. It was done in person. So enjoy, and I will see you soon. Don't forget to subscribe. Thanks. The very first thing that you see when you come back down to the surface. Have you come off of the cloud yet?
Mm-hmm.
And what do you see there below you?
A Victorian house.
Can you describe it to me? What color is it? What's it made of?
What I'm seeing more clearly is actually a portrait of a woman in a black gown with a high collar.
Is this woman familiar to you?
I think she's me.
Okay. So you're looking at your portrait. Is this portrait in this house? In the Victorian house that you saw?
I don't know.
That's okay. I'd like you to just take a moment and look around. You see the portrait? Can you look around to see if you notice anything else?
The house is shadowy, so...
Okay. Do you see windows? Is it darkened because it's that time of day?
I don't... No, it's not like a clear picture in there. It's not a whole scape. It's just
Okay.
like a blurry house, but I see clearly this portrait in my
Okay.
mind's eye.
Good. Okay. And as we continue, it's going to get clearer and clearer. But that's good. So we notice the portrait. She's wearing, did you say a black dress with a high collar?
Yeah.
And what color is her hair?
It's dark. The portrait, it's like an old photograph.
Oh, it's not painted.
No.
Okay. So what is her expression? How is she looking?
Her face seems neutral, but grief is coming to me.
Okay. So allow yourself to notice those feelings, knowing that anything you feel or experience can do you no harm. So just be curious about what you're sensing and what you're feeling. You're noticing a sense of grief. If you look down in this moment, do you feel like you have a body?
No.
Okay, that's fine. So then as we look at this portrait of this woman who feels like you, it feels like you're getting a sense of an experience that you've had in that body. Are you still noticing the grief?
Yes.
And do you have a sense of why you're feeling this grief? Just allow yourself to relax into it.
I can feel it in my throat.
You feel the grief in your throat?
A constriction.
This woman had a hard time expressing herself. You had a hard time expressing yourself in that life, in that physical experience.
Yeah, it feels like there was a physical threat to her. Like the collar is actually keeping her from speaking.
Oh. It reinforces her need to keep quiet. Is there something in particular that she really wants to say? Is there a story that she wants to share?
Husband is the word that's coming to mind.
Husband is the word? Tell me more about that. It's becoming clearer and clearer as you allow yourself to be curious. Does her word matter?
I think the husband died.
Oh.
And there's something around her. She has to be quiet so that she's
It's okay, relax. Just allow yourself to relax. Allow it to come to you. What are you experiencing? You need to be quiet.
She has to be quiet so that she'll be taken care of.
Okay. Her husband died. And she has no way of taking care of herself.
Like, I think the dress is black because it's a morning dress.
Mm-hmm.
And something about that means she can't be who she is. That's why the collar is
so tight. Let's just continue to be with her and her feelings. Who is around her? Is she in her own home or in somebody else's home?
I feel like both, which doesn't make sense.
It could be about power. So let's go ahead and move forward to a meal time. Imagine yourself, allow yourself to move forward to a meal time. It's time for dinner. And I'd like you to look around and see if she's alone or are there others.
The house seems entirely empty, except there's like a shadow of a person with her.
Okay. How does this shadow feel? It's going to continue to get clearer. Just allow it to get clearer. It will. What is your sense about this other person?
It's male, but there's no connection between the two of them.
So it's not a relative?
No, I mean, she sees him as a shadow.
Oh. Does this shadow feel like it has power over her?
My energy body just constricted, so I would say yes.
Okay. Okay, so let's be present with it and remember that you're safe and you're the observer here. You can observe and no harm comes to you. You're completely safe. So you said that this male energy has no connection with her. So does that mean they aren't related by blood or marriage?
I can see him now. He's in a suit with, it's a gray suit, like the skinny tie. And they're eating, but they could be strangers at the same table. I think they're married.
Oh. You think they are married. Is this a second husband?
I think.
Okay. So your sense is that her first husband died, and she remarried in order to be taken care of. Did he move into what was originally her first husband and her home?
I think so.
Okay. And yet she feels powerless here.
Yes.
Yes. Because she has no means of taking care of herself. She relies upon him.
But she doesn't love him. She grieves her other husband.
Did she love her first husband? Yes, that was a marriage of love.
And he appreciated her. So for her to silence who she is just to be taken care of is horrible.
Does this woman feel young or old? How would you describe where she is in life?
She's in the prime and she's being wasted.
And she feels stuck. So let's go ahead and move forward. Let's move forward to another time when something important is happening for her. So go ahead and move forward and then tell me what you see, what you experience.
It's Christmas, which she loves.
Mm.
And the parlor is decorated, but her heart is just...
She's just gone through the motions. What does she normally spend her days doing?
Just see her sitting and staring.
So it sounds like she's in a state of depression. Is she feeling hopeless?
She's feeling trapped.
Trapped. So it's Christmas time. Are they the only two that live in this home? Are there any children?
I don't think so.
Are there any servants or help in the house?
There has to be, but I don't see anybody. It's like that her world has shrunk to that house.
So it sounds like, so she doesn't go out and socialize. She has been cut off from friends.
The only connection I really feel with her is with her dead husband.
Okay. And this feeling of here she is in this trapped situation. Okay. So let's go ahead and move forward to another time in her life where something important is happening. Leave that scene that we've been watching and move ahead to an important day. What is happening?
She's dying.
Where is she?
She's kind of like in a lounge chair, or she's propped up in bed. I'm not sure.
Okay. Is she, what is she wearing?
I think she's still in black, and her hair is gray.
Oh, so she's much older. Is there anyone around her?
No.
She's alone?
That's how she feels.
Oh. She feels alone. Can you look around to see if there's actually anyone else there?
It's like how the house was. Like everything around... Like all I can see is her. And everything else is like black.
Okay. So the focus is on her. How is she feeling? You said it feels like she's dying. Tell me about that. Where do you feel it in the body, or what sense do you get about what she's feeling or experiencing?
Mixture of regret and also looking forward to being gone.
Okay. She wants to die.
Yeah.
What is she regretting? What are her regrets?
It's not so much regrets. It's more that to her freedom, to her death is freedom.
Oh. Okay. She's ready to let go of this life. Do you know what she's dying of?
Doesn't feel like anything specific, just old age.
Okay. She's just, it's just time for her to let go. And she's really looking forward to letting go of this physical body.
Mm-hmm. It represents freedom.
Yeah. Now, whatever has already happened, and you're on the other side of it. From that position, you can look back at the entire life and see it from a different perspective. Every life has a lesson and a purpose. So as you look at this life, what did you learn from it?
I better understand why I'm so afraid to say things and why it's so scary.
She just didn't have permission because she was a woman in that lifetime. Was it her position as a woman in society that was that typical? Is that what you're saying? In that era?
Yeah.
Okay. Even though her first husband did have an appreciation, it sounds like she may have had more freedom with him to express herself.
Yes.
Yes. But that her second husband was probably much more traditional of the time, and
Right.
yeah. So what do you think was the purpose of that lifetime? What purpose did that experience serve?
To show her how it did feel to be able to be who she was without fear.
Okay. And then the contrast. So she experienced both of those in the same lifetime. Is there anything else that she'd like to share?
So I'm looking at her portrait again.
Mm-hmm.
And the collar feels looser.
Oh. Okay.
Like, because as I'm looking at her, I'm feeling it.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not as tight as it was.
Yeah. The collar just kind of symbolized, it was a symbol of the constriction of what she was really feeling. Well, we're going to move away from that scene, leaving her to continue on her own path. And you can move forward or backwards to find another appropriate time and place that has information that you need. So you are now at another time and place. What do you see or experience?
I think I'm being drowned for being a witch.
Okay.
And I feel afraid.
Okay, so remember you're the observer here, and you're completely safe. We're just observing to gain information. And I would imagine that she is feeling fear. You said she's in the process of being drowned.
Yes.
And who, is she being held by one person? Is she being held, or how is she being drowned?
Her feet are bound with a rope, and she's being lowered into a barrel filled with water.
Head first. So did she even have any kind of a trial?
think. She is guilty of what they say she's done, but it's not wrong what she did.
She was doing what she felt was right.
Yes.
Yes.
What she perceived as a gift.
Can you see what she did, or?
No, but I get the sense that she would do it all again. Like, she had to do it.
She knew it was right. It was the right thing. So she was brave enough to do what she felt was the right thing to do. And she's paying for it with her life. And she would do it all again. She's a brave woman. So it must have been something very important. I'd like you to go ahead and move away from that scene.
Need to say something else.
Yes, go ahead.
To not do what she did would have been denying who she was. And she refused to do that.
Okay. So that's important to know. She had very high standards. So whatever has already happened, and you're on the other side of it. From this position, you can look back on her entire life and see it from a perspective which you already are getting that perspective. And we know that every life has a lesson and a purpose. So as you look at this life, you've learned that she was a strong person and she would do it all again. But is there something else that you're learning from this?
How fierce she is.
Fierce. Yeah. Strong. Fierce. What else occurs to you about who you are? Really feel her.
She feels alive.
She feels alive. Oh, she feels alive for living her truth. Does she feel alive because she lived her truth?
Yes.
Her true self, no matter what the consequences were. So what do you think the purpose of this lifetime was?
It feels like I was shown these two lives on purpose. So in one, I died because I lived the way I thought I should. But in another, even though I stayed alive, it was horrible.
Right.
And I was dying on the inside the whole time anyway.
Yeah. Big contrast between the two lives.
Because it feels like the witch was a little younger.
Okay.
Or I was younger as the witch. But I'm getting that even though I was killed, I still had more freedom to be who I was up until that point. Yeah, it's more about, I wasn't worried about, there's something about food in here too.
Food? Oh, go ahead.
Like, as a witch, I wasn't worried about where I would sleep and eat. Whereas, as the Victorian woman, my fear is that if I spoke up, like, I wouldn't be taken care of.
Right.
My basic needs.
Yes, you wouldn't have food, shelter. So fear was controlling you in the Victorian life. Beliefs were controlling you. So let's ask about the anxiety and depression that you experience in this lifetime. And because you've been shown those lifetimes for a reason, And how can you relate this lifetime to what you've just experienced?
I know that I make my world smaller every time I don't do something based on fear, and I know that.
Is that tied into the anxiety and depression? Is that how you make yourself smaller?
It feels like it works both ways.
How?
Anxiety makes me make my world smaller.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
And then I lost whatever was coming up there.
Okay, that's okay. So let's ask, do you feel helpless against the anxiety?
Yes.
I'd like to deepen our connection with the subconscious, the higher self, angels and guides. And I ask permission to speak with this higher power. So there's a feeling of a lack of control over the anxiety. Can we go into this anxiety that's in the body? Is it coming from something physical? Is there a physical dysfunction that is causing the anxiety?
I'm hearing yes. It feels like something in my right leg.
Okay. So let's just be with that. And I ask that these guides and angels, can they bring healing to this right now? Can they work with your physical body and energy to clear whatever is causing this anxiety? If there's something physical to be healed, will they correct it right now?
I'm not getting anything.
Okay. So I ask your angels and guides to work with you on healing. Whatever is in your highest good right now, are they willing to bring healing to you today? Are you ready for this healing?
It feels like I can do it.
Okay. And do they have instructions for you on how to do it? Is there something they want you to know about healing it, healing the anxiety?
That it feels like it's easy as just releasing it.
Okay. Are you ready to release it? Are you ready to release the control that it has had over you? Are you ready to take your power back?
No.
Okay, let's be with that.
There's that fear of who am I without that?
Okay, so let's be with it. Let's just be present with that no. Where is that no showing up in your body? Do you have a sense?
It's showing up in the whole upper half above my waist.
Okay.
Like I can feel my arms are tense.
Mm-hmm. So I'm going to call on your angels and your guides and your higher self for assistance. And we know that they're not here to force anything because you have complete free will. But I ask your angels and your guides to help to bring you a sense of safety. You've just experienced 2 different lives, showing you a life that you didn't really feel alive and vibrant, and a life that was shorter and yet full and fulfilling. What do your angels and guides want to tell you? What message do they have for you concerning this anxiety?
That it is possible to feel different. Like, the way I feel right now, being in touch with my higher self, I feel in my body, and it feels different than when I focus on the anxiety, and I shift out of where I am now.
This feeling, is this who you would be if you let go of the anxiety? Would this be some glimmer of who you truly are?
Yes.
So can you allow yourself to focus on that truth?
Feels very powerful.
Allow yourself to feel it. This is who you truly are. This is where you can live. Can you give yourself permission to live in this place of power?
Yes.
And from this place of power, do you feel worthy?
From the place of power, yes. It doesn't feel sustainable, though.
What about it doesn't feel sustainable?
It feels like I keep slipping between divinity and humanity.
Okay. So with practice, do you think with practice and continuing to make a choice, you could live more and more in this truth?
Yes.
So from experiencing this truth of who you are, what is your purpose in this lifetime? What have you come here to learn? What sense do you have? That's okay. It doesn't have to make sense. What is your experience that's coming through?
To serve without being taken advantage of.
Okay. To serve without being taken advantage of. That sounds like a powerful position, and I would trust that it will begin to make sense as you move forward and spend more time in the energy of your truth.
I got more already.
Go ahead.
It's about being seen. It's about learning to see myself. So I don't serve to be seen.
And where do you serve from? You don't serve to be seen. From what place do you serve from?
My heart.
Yes.
A full, complete heart.
Yes. Can we bring physical healing to this heart today?
I would like to try.
Good. Just open to it. That's all you have to do is allow it. Be ready to serve from a full and open heart. And just be with that for a moment. Let's just hold that energy. This truth of who you are serves from a full and open heart. And who are you in service to?
I don't want to say this either. I am in service to myself.
Okay. That's okay. I'm sure that will get clearer too. Yeah, you just have sounds a little like a little judgment, but I'm sure there's clarity there. Yep. Trust it. It'll make sense. So from this place, we'd like to ask about your connection to the fairy realm. Allow your sense of connection. What is your relationship to the fairy realm? Who are you from that perspective? From that energy of the fairies?
I feel joy.
Can you tell me more about that experience, with the connection to the fairies?
It feels like it's a state of being and not like a temporary emotion.
Something that's always with you?
Mm-hmm.
Or you can always have access to it? How can you access this energy more so that you can have it with you more?
All I'm getting is believe.
Okay. Believe. Believe in your connection?
I think so. Because my human mind likes to say, I'm 5'9". How am I a fairy?
But fairies are magical creatures, and they can make themselves bigger and smaller, and they can take different shapes.
Yeah, I have a mental image of a little fairy giggling as you're talking.
Yes. What is your fairy name? This is an important part of who you are.
Melinda?
Melinda? Okay. And what does Melinda like to do?
Really hot now.
Okay. You want me to take the cover completely off? Okay.
Oh, no, that's good.
Okay. What's happening? What are you experiencing?
I think sometimes when I cry, it's like validation of truth.
Yeah. Yeah. You've hit something really important. You are Melinda, and Melinda is you. You hold that energy. There's something she's here to share.
You know, even though I can see my wings, like she's sitting and she's in a forest, and it's weird, like there's this blurry spot, so I can see all of this, but not right here. So I can't tell if she's actually like sitting on a flower or just by them.
Yeah.
But like there's flowers and she's there and like all these huge trees and but she's just being. She's just sitting there.
Wow. She's just being present. How would you describe her energy? You said joy. What else? Describe her to me. What does she look like? She has wings. What is she wearing?
I can't like see it, but I feel like purple.
Is she always with you?
She's nodding. For some reason, the human me doesn't want to let her out.
Doesn't want to let her out. Oh, in this lifetime, you mean, or let her express herself?
Yes.
Oh. So you're actually keeping her from expressing herself. Let's just be with that for a moment. And be with what is keeping her from expressing herself. What aspect of you is keeping her from expressing herself? Just be curious about it. There's no judgment, just curiosity.
She has learned that she feels safe when she controls everything.
Okay. And can we observe this situation right now and observe this part of yourself and see how she really feels about it? Does it feel safe to allow this part of her freedom?
She's afraid that if more of the fairy comes out, that everything will fall apart and that bills won't get paid and she won't get her job done.
Okay.
She wants to believe, though,
Okay,
that
that's
there's
good.
a way to merge those and have it not be all one or the other.
So let's ask, is there a way for these energies to work in harmony? Is there a place for all of them?
Yes.
Can you show how to do this and how to be?
She's nodding.
Okay.
I don't know if she can talk.
Oh.
I don't know. She's just nodding at this point.
Okay. But they're communicating. Okay. Is she anxious to?
No, but not how it sounds.
Okay.
Like, I'm looking at her. Because she's so in the moment and just is, like, she doesn't resent me for hiding her, and she's not eager to come out. Like, it's like, it is what it,
She's accepting you for who you are. How does that feel? To be completely accepted for who you are right now.
Feels overwhelming.
Yeah, just be with that for a moment as much as you can. Take that in. You are being accepted completely for who you are. You are good enough to be loved. Is there a way for you to continue this relationship if it chooses to deepen the relationship? Is there a way for you to be in contact with this aspect of yourself more?
Yeah, because after I said something I can't remember right now, she got up and walked toward me.
Mm-hmm.
And then I let my energy go toward her, and now I can't see her.
Mm-hmm.
So I think she's in here.
Okay.
We're both in here.
You've accepted her in.
She still didn't say anything, though. That's okay.
Yeah. Her energy have a purpose in this lifetime? Or is it just really an important part of who you are?
All I can think of is something Rachel said, which I don't know if that means it's true, but she said that I've forgotten how to fly.
Oh, okay. And she may be here to remind you.
Maybe, yeah.
Okay. Well, it sounds like she's willing to be with you. And you can remember her. Maybe when you feel like you don't know how. So maybe let go a little bit more.